How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ryan Watkins. I'm with the Alabama Airsoft Association. A lot of you guys, if you've been to the events before, you probably heard me or I've annoyed you to some capacity. So hate that I have to do this to you guys again, but welcome back to another video. Now, instead of doing a live stream like we typically do this time before an event, just gonna do an update video because me and Tan have not been able to coordinate and get our schedules together because he's got a lot of things going at home with his with his professional life and new family and everything else like that. And of course, I'm a student at Auburn University, getting ready to graduate, and finals and stuff are coming up. So I've had a lot going on the last few weeks leading up to that, which will happen for me next week. So between all that and the other admins and what they've got going on with their lives, the ones that we have active duty and the ones that we got still on orders and stuff, I've decided that the best approach to this is to just do an update video. And I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet for you guys and hopefully get all you guys up to speed with what we've got going on. So before we really get into the event itself, I just kind of want to do a brief introduction into what Operation Righteous Valor was. I know some of you have been going since our first year we did it in 2016, and some of you just joined in or whatever and been keeping up with stuff, but I still feel like it's important for people to remember exactly why we're doing this thing. So Operation Righteous Valor kind of started whenever one of our main admins, Timothy Gardner, who is a police officer in the Birmingham Police Department and a veteran, decided that we should do an event specifically aimed towards helping out veterans. And so which now we are a filed charity with the state, we, excuse me, we had never really done anything for veterans at the time, but we knew we wanted to, and that was our main goal. So with the direction of him and Tan Tidwell, who's also a veteran himself, they decided to spearhead and put together the Operation Righteous Valor, the first one, which spun off into a yearly thing that we do in a series. And it was aimed at raising as much money as we possibly could to give to another veteran charity that could do more with it than what we could, because the extent of our abilities right now, then and still are today, to just put on events. I mean, that's what we're that's what we're good at to some capacity. I mean, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But as far as doing other things with the money, we do not necessarily have the time or resources to do right at this moment. So the first year we did it for Irreverent Warriors. They're a great group of guys. They were really excited about that. But then between the first Righteous Valor and the second Righteous Valor, we got to talking with Jeremy Hogan and his guys at Saving Forgotten Warriors, which I made a little note right here. And we decided to start raising the money for those guys because, I mean, good Lord have mercy, the amount of stuff that they're able to do with it, and the fact that they're local. They're out of Coleman, Alabama, which from the field we'll be playing at, which is in Hanceville, which is basically right down the road from Coleman. So it's about as local as you could possibly get, not only to the state of Alabama, but the field in which we're playing at. So it's real easy for those guys to get out there and join us, which they will be this year. I do believe so. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about Saving Forgotten Warriors. So Saving Forgotten Warriors is a group that provides services that provides all kinds of services for our veterans. I made a couple notes here. The one thing that they do is they build ramps to help disabled veterans have access to their own homes, which I've seen them post about multiple times. They transport veterans to get to and from the VA, which is very, very important, very crucial. Here's a post that I saw that I just wanted to kind of throw up there. As you can see, they also help, reach out and get people to see, with this particular individual, to cut a war to Widow's Yard. And I'm pretty sure they were able to, yeah, as you can see, we have someone that has offered to cut her yard. So there you go. I mean, and that was yesterday at 12:21, which, as you can see, it's 11:51 p.m. when I'm making this video. Um, so I mean, they do incredible work. And another thing that I saw that was just absolutely humbling, and I see them do stuff like this all the time, is they did a funeral outreach here for Raymond Williams Cochran, and unfortunately his family was not able to, was not going to be able to attend the funeral, and was asking if anyone would come out and help lay to rest that hero in the proper way. And I think that is very honorable. And these are just a few of the examples that of the amazing work that there's Jeremy and his wife, I do believe so, um, or Jeremy and his team. I met his wife once before, but I don't think she was at the one last year. She was at the first one we did. So anyways, that's Jeremy and his group, and those shirts are awesome. I would be wearing mine right now, but I actually wore it earlier today since it was Friday for Red Friday and got stuff on it, so it's in the washer right now. Um, so anyways, yeah, they'll come out. They sell all kinds of stuff, as you can see in their shop here. They got all these shirts and stuff. Guys, please go out there and support them because they do such amazing work for our community and for the state of Alabama. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read you a quote that he quoted to me last year at Operation Righteous Valor 3. He said, and this is just from memory, guys. He said, "Our goal was originally to help get every veteran off the streets of Coleman. I can proudly say we were able to accomplish that goal." And I think he meant that in the sense of like the known veterans that they knew that were out there in the community that were homeless, had nothing to do. They were able to get off the street and help get shelter over their head and get them jobs and stuff. And he said, and now we hope to do the same with for other communities within the state of Alabama. And I mean, it's true. I mean, these guys, they stretch every dollar. I mean, he didn't have to, but last year, the first year we did it for him, we were able to raise $2,000. And that was an absolute incredible outreach of the 150 players that we had come support us on that day. Was able to help us raise $2,000 for those guys, and we were able to. And he told me they were able to do that to provide gas to get people to and from VA, to get people to and from certain projects with like cleaning up yards and stuff. Was able to help build, I think, at least one accessible ramp for veterans to be able to get, or for disabled veterans to get in and out of their homes. So that's incredible, and that just it touched my heart, you guys. And I tried to, and I think I was able to update you guys after the event on that. I don't know if I made a post, but for those of you that were at the event last year, this just tells you a little bit about them. And I had to spill on those guys, or not necessarily spill. I don't know what the proper word. I had to tell you more about these guys before the event because I just don't think you know how incredible Jeremy and his guys are at Saving Forgotten Warriors. So anyways, I was going to do that. Uniquely this year, as you can see, I also put Veterans for Airsoft with Freddie Flux. So Freddie Flux and Veterans for Airsoft, here's their Facebook page. It's a fairly new organization. I think they were formed last year. I'm not 100% positive. Tan Tidwell, one of our admins, knows a lot more than I do on this subject matter, but I do know Freddie Flux, and I do know the Veterans for Airsoft organization. I just as far as their past history and stuff, I don't know too much about them quite yet, but I'm hoping to learn more. They formed to kind of as an outreach group for veterans because they know as well as we did when we first formed. And well, actually, we kind of learned it after we formed, but a lot of veterans and active duty members play the sport of airsoft, right? Especially mil sims and stuff. And I think Freddie himself, I'm almost 100% positive he is a veteran. Don't quote me on that. But Tan, and Tan is a veteran, and he, has a great connection with Freddie. And so he told me this year that he would like to do something for those guys, and I 100% agree because I brought this post up particularly because this is what we would like to help give money towards from our event to help support. And it's this the action track chair, which I think this gentleman in the center right here is in. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to help disabled veterans get them back onto the field of airsoft. Or for disabled veterans that never had the opportunity to play airsoft to get on the field and play. And it costs $15,000. And as you can see, April 18th, they were able to have an event and raise $7,500 towards that. which is half. I mean, yeah, that's half. I had to do I had to do some quick math. So, I mean, every little bit that we can help contribute to that, I think would be great. So, if you guys want to come out, if you want to come out to our event and directly support that, I'm sure there's links and stuff here, and you can donate money to us at the event and tell us you're specifically donating it for that cause, and we will specifically make sure that that money goes towards Freddie and his guys. Um, but like I said, Saving Forgotten Warriors, fantastic group of guys. They're actually going to be there. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we conflicted with their schedule because they do a lot, man. Look at their events here. Yeah, as you can see, they've got first annual Pitmaster. They do this golf tournament every year that I like doing. They've got Thanksgiving for Veterans. I mean, they're just slam full of stuff that they do every year. And Freddie, from what I understand, they do a lot of stuff too. This is one of their first major things that they've done, uh, from what I know. Yeah, I mean they just got started, so they are getting out there and they're doing things and getting active, and they are a legitimate group and they're a great group of guys. And if you've ever met Freddie, you know that. So, anyways, that is my 10-minute spill on why we're doing this event. I just thought it was very important to talk about these two groups, and so you people, you, so the players and people attending out there in the community would know what the cause is for, because obviously to me that is the most important part of this whole thing is helping out these individuals and being able to contribute funds from our little fun our fun little day that we have out on the field to go towards a greater cause. I mean, that's huge to me. Um so now to talk about the actual event. Which I will continue to talk about these two groups of people because I mean they're absolutely fantastic throughout this entire process. So um, I just hope you guys can get as excited about that as I can. So for this event, Operation Righteous Valor 4, made a little typo there. Admission is going to be $30. That'll come with a patch. That will come with one raffle ticket, and that will come with an admission into the event. The raffle ticket, there it is. I mean, the raffle ticket. The patch, here's the patch. Very happy in how this turned out. It's a little bit. We usually did the circular ones, and we decided to go with a square patch. I think it's 3.5 by 2.5 is the dimensions. I'm not exactly 100% positive. It's not overly big, but it's not way too small. It's actually perfect size, and I'm very proud of this. Um, as a matter of fact, one of our good friends helped us put this patch together, and I'm very proud in the way in which he did it, and happy that he did that for us. So here's the patch you're going to be getting. We've got 200 of them. We decided to go big or go home. We didn't want to have too many. One year we got 150, and we gave out exactly 150 patches. And then, of course, last year we had bad weather and only ended up with 70 people. So with the 150 patches we had, we had about half. I mean, it was not good weather, but we still had a good time. The rain didn't kill anybody's gear, and we all had a good time. So this year we decided to go big or go home. We got 200 patches, and so if we have 201 players, we'll find a way to get that one guy patch. But for right now, we have 200 patches. If you want your patch, get there on time, and you will get one as soon as you pay. So, all right. And then any additional raffle ticket costs $5. A lot of people don't understand that sometimes, but we sell additional raffle tickets for $5 a piece. Your first raffle ticket comes free. Also, I would like to mention that if you want any pizza to be sitting there waiting on you when you get back for break, um, then you tell us at the beginning, give us the money, tell us if you want cheese, pepperoni, how many slices, whatever. We'll even do it by the slice, and we'll tell you how much you pay us right there. We'll make sure it's there for you when you come off the field. All right. So mentioning the raffle, Third Coast Airsoft for the second year has decided, or we reached out to them about this event. They said, of course we want to help you guys out. Here's one free raffle ticket, good for any of their events within the year. So starting from now till the next, for good for 1 year. I'll specify if they mean just 2019 or if they mean like a year from our event date. Before whoever wins it gets that ticket. But for right now, we'll just say good for the next year because that's what they told me. They said good for 1 year. So We'll just assume that means from now until a year from now. White Raven Airsoft is going to be contributing to our raffle. They have done that multiple times in the past, and I absolutely appreciate those guys and everything they do for our community. They're a local group. They also host events. They do a pretty good job from what I can understand. I haven't been able to make it out to any of their events, but actually one of our admins is with those guys, as well as a few of our admins has played there, and they are extremely satisfied. Me and Brent, the guy that runs it, goes way back. So those guys are a great group of guys. I'm glad they're going to be contributing. I think it's more. I think it's a surprise on what it's going to be. So can't exactly tell you the details of that yet. Same for Nashville Airsoft. Nashville Airsoft, we reached out to for the first time this year, and within 24 hours, they're like, yes, 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 we want to help you guys, put you guys together a package and donate it. Just let us know when and where. So I told them when and where, and so they're going to be putting together something for us, and I'm sure as soon as they let me know, I'll let you guys know. But they are going to be contributing to the raffle, and we are super excited and thankful for those guys to do that. All right, so the question was actually thrown at me earlier today, which was basically what's new. And the way in which he described it was kind of interesting. I'm not going to read off his exact question, but it was basically like, what's new? Like, what are you guys doing this year that hasn't already been done or is different from what everybody else has been doing? And I had to kind of sit back and think of that, because that was one of our main goals when we came into this. Was we definitely wanted to make sure that anything we were doing and putting together this year was, especially for this event, was going to be unique and new and exciting. So the first thing that we decided to do is mobile checkpoints, which is, by mobile checkpoints, we have actually, Tan Tidwell has actually built these incredible um, things out of wood that is going to be able to roll out onto the field, and we will stationary it. Now, once it's set. You can't move it around. But we call it a mobile checkpoint because if we want to move it to a different spot later on in the game, we can. So we can, if we decide that we want to put objective A in Twin Towers, and that's a control point, you guys fight for it, and then later on we want to move it a little bit outside of Twin Towers or down to church or whatever, we can do that. And I don't know how many we've built so far, but I know it's still in the works, and I know that that is almost done. The other part to that is a possible touchscreen timer. So some of our admins, including me, as you can see, I have, this is my main phone, and then this is actually my old phone. And so what we'll be doing is trying to figure out what iPhones and iPads, and if we have enough, and what we'll do is we'll try to set up an app on each phone to where you basically like have to type in a password for your team and do a timer. We actually got the idea from Third Coast Airsoft from this last Stonebreaker event I went to this year. I'm not gonna lie, we kind of stole that, but it's not stealing. We're really borrowing it, and I'm willing to give credit where credit's due. I don't know if anyone else is doing this, but I saw it. I thought it was really cool. They're doing it with these really awesome fancy touchpad or iPads or whatever they are, but we don't have the money to buy a bunch of iPads, so we're gonna be using old smartphones and stuff. So if you have any old smartphones, please let us know, because we'd be willing to borrow them or purchase them for you or whatever for this particular case. But that's something that's still in the works. For sure, we'll have the flag points, but as far as the touchscreen devices and stuff, we're still working on that, and I'll keep you guys updated. The bonus time control points. So basically, I got to thinking like, well, sometimes control points just aren't enough to initiate a team to fight over it. And I mean, sometimes strategy plays a factor. Like, okay, well, they're fighting really heavily for this one, so let's like give that one up and go fight for something else. It's a little bit of strategy. So I thought, well, why not to increase the maximum amount of fighting that we can have on the field, for to have bigger firefights and more firefights, to have like rotating random bonus control points. Like, hey, from this time to this time, this control point is going to be worth X amount more points for, the next hour or such. And so if you're a team and you're down, and you obviously want to go after that. And if you're a team and you're up, you obviously want to secure that. So, and we may take points away from other control points and put more points value towards other control points to make you fight harder for those points, for those control points, so you have more points at the end of the day. Um, That's the thought process. Of course, some of this is trial and error. So it may spark more firefights. It may not. But I mean, the thought process here is, hey, if something's worth a lot more, lot more points than all the other objectives, we're gonna go after it. And so we'll see how that works out, and it'll be kind of left up to the game command to figure out which ones that's going to be and when. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. Definitely for me, at least from a I guess a game designer aspect of it. I don't know what you would call the guy that or people that work on how an event works. I guess I don't know. I wouldn't be necessarily a game designer. I guess it'd be an operation control. I have no idea. So that's another new thing that we're adding to the event, which will be interesting if we were able to get the touchscreen thing working and with our mobile control points, since we can move them to other areas. That will be interesting to see how that works out. Obviously, we're not just going to pick up and move your objective in the middle of a firefight. That would be totally irrational. We're going to have limitations to what we can do with it. So don't expect things to just be completely chaotic, because that is one thing we are not about. We are about structure and organization for sure. The next thing is interactive objectives. So these have been mostly completed. Basically, and I've talked to Tan about this because he's been the one developing them. But last year, if you came out, you got to deal with IEDs that if you cut the wrong wire, if you used your I forgot what they're called, the people that can defuse your bomb squad guy, um, and you had to answer these questions basically to figure out which wires to cut, or just completely randomly guess which wires to cut based off intel. And if you got your bomb squad guy to cut the wrong wire and then pull, because you had to cut wires and then pull, and if you didn't cut the right wires, then it was going to pull basically what was a um, oh good lord, what are those things called? Not a thunder bee, but something like a thunder bee, and it would explode and kill. Pea grenade is actually what it was. Explode and kill him and everybody around you. So, though that was very interesting to have, and I mean there was actually only one major squad that tried to find all the IEDs and stuff throughout the day, and through the points they were able to get, they didn't blow up one single time, so they got everything correct that they were supposed to. And it was actually a group of guys out of Florida, which are coming back this year. So looking forward to those guys coming out, but there will be more IEDs, and they are going to be a lot more complex to defuse. So that's one thing we've been working on. Another thing is physically having to move what I'm calling for now props. They'll have more specific names as we get closer to the event and you get the final draft of the op boards. But you have to physically take things from one place to another in a sort of time chart matter. So it'll be more interactive in the sense of you're going to have to carry things that may have to take two hands, and you may say, you know what, this isn't worth it. That's for you to decide if it's worth you getting or the other team getting, and you even wasting your time on. But it'll be interactive. It could be a person. It could be an object. Whatever it is, it's going to cause a lot more. It's going to cause a little bit more thought process to it. It is the is our hopes of it. So it's going to be a lot more interactive as opposed to just finding an intel packet, bringing it back to your commander, them reading it and deciphering what to do with it, and then that's basically it. A lot more interactive than it's ever been in the past. And then right now, a few added additions to the field, but more to come before the event. There's been some stuff added to the field. If you follow mt.doom's paintball and airsoft page, you will see that they have gotten some things done on the field and added, just a few minor things. We plan on trying to get out there, if not the weekend before the event, a couple days before the event, and doing a lot of work to the field. I personally am going to try. I'm going to be there either a day or two before, or the weekend before, with power tools, wood, and if anybody wants to come and help, I'll let you know when I'm going to do it. I'll post it on the page. If you guys want to come help me, you can help me add things to the field that we can not only use for that event, but for the foreseeable future. Obviously, people that have never played Mount Doom are going to be looking forward to that. Or obviously people that have played Mount Doom a lot are going to be looking forward to those improvements. If you've never been to Mount Doom, it's all going to be a new experience. So it'll be interesting either way. So another new thing is we will be briefing players of groups of 10 to 15 after chrono. So basically you'll pay Doug, and then Doug will mark you or whatever and give you a raffle ticket and your patch. When you have your patch, you'll be able to come up to the chrono range and chrono your gun. If you don't have your patch on you or your raffle ticket, then we're going to turn you away, and you got to go back and get that. When you get to the chrono, you're going to have your dead rag, eye pro, and a source of hydration. Once you have all three of those things, we check that off. Then you can chrono. Once you chrono, you're going to go either with me or admin Michael Milner, and we're going to take you off to the side, 2 different areas, and we're going to safety brief you guys as quickly as possible. Talk about medic rules, talk about MEDs, talk about some endangerments or things on the field that you might need to be aware of. And then that should only take about 5 or 10 minutes. Then we'll send you on your way, and then after that, all you'll have to do is come to formation, I guess what we're calling it, and basically after that, we'll deploy you and you'll be ready to go. So as far as all that goes, that's pretty much it besides this last little bullet point: rules, 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 rules. I always get complaints about and questions. We've gotten an increased number of questions about our rules, right? The problem with that is we always have our rules posted in the exact same place every year. So, well, okay. So just to kind of show you guys where we always put the rules, here's the event page. Okay, you're going to hit About, and you're going to scroll down to Details. You're going to click See More, and then guess what? Right underneath all this information right here, you see Alabama Airsoft Association rules, and right here is all these rules that I worked so hard to develop over the last few years. I've actually been developing this particular rule set over the last 7 years, back when I was with Lothian Airsoft and now with the Alabama Airsoft Association. So, and a lot of these rules, if you played MilSim events, it's the exact same thing. There are some differences. As a matter of fact, our FBS and MED standards and stuff like that are on point with what I think MilSim Squirrel, if you know who that is, Michael Rebus, and the Florida MilSim Association, in conjunction with, I can't remember what airsoft groups, but a few airsoft event organizers and stuff, adopted this exact rule plan, and we're trying to standardize a rule plan for the United States as far as like, this is the standard rule set. If you want to deviate, yeah, sure, but here's what the bulk majority of us are going with. This is in conjunction with that as far as our MED and FPS rules. So if you have any problems with it, feel free to, blast us in the comment section or send us a message on our page, Alabama Airsoft Association on Facebook page. But these are pretty much set in stone right now. There's some other rules that I would cover, but we're not going to cover rules in tonight's safety briefing. I'm just going to show you all where the rules are and everything else. The last thing that I will the last thing I will add is, as you can see, if you keep up with what's going on right here. So as you can see, we have our group chats open, and we will be pouring information into the group chats over the next week or over the next week. So you guys need to be in the group chats for your team, either the Eastern Coalition Forces, which is the green team, or the Western Resistance, which is the tan team, essentially. We're not doing Americans and da-da-da-da. It's the Eastern Coalition Forces and the Western Resistance. That's what it is. So go to this post or send us a message, click on the comments, and say what team you want to be in. As you can see, we've got 37 people have already done it. Some people just prefer to stay out of the group chats. Understand. You can get the same updates essentially from this page, but they're going to go in the group chats first, and more specific and detailed information is always going to go in the group chats first. That's also where your commander is going to be and your leadership and stuff for the event. So it's good to go in there and get a sense of who you're going to be fighting with before you ever get to the event. So I think that's it. I think I covered everything. So all right, guys, if you have any questions and stuff, keep sending them to us. Obviously, we don't mind questions. The only frustrating thing is when a lot of your questions have already been addressed, but that's okay because I understand it is not your job to read every little thing that we post, but it is our job to make sure that you are informed. So if you have any questions that we didn't talk about today, please send them to us. There will be more update videos to come before the event. Hopefully, we'll do a live stream here within the next week because, like I said, after finals week next week, I'll be done for the foreseeable future. I'll be done at least until the next event, so I'll be free. So, anyways, guys, y'all have a good night, and we'll hear from you soon.